Okay, now let's go to the head. Because if you're walking, your head has a little bit of motion, right? Otherwise, that's a little bit of reality, yeah. Okay, so let's select the head and let's hit the letter P for position. Okay, let's go ahead and click the stopwatch on P. Now, in those extreme situations, in these extreme areas, okay, where does my head go? Yes, it goes down, right? Okay. If I'm walking, if I go straight up, it goes up. So let's use that knowledge to what we know. Okay? So he's in an extreme stretch. So let's maybe at this 0 point, let's see, that's the first number is X, we need Y. Let's drop his head down a little bit. Don't worry about the mouth. Don't worry about the mouth. We're going to fix that later. Don't drop it down a lot, just a little bit. This isn't like a lot of motion. This is just subtle motion. Right. Okay? Now, let's move the indicator to his standing right there. You see where both his legs are straight? Let's move his head up a little bit. So there, that's where he's kind of straight up. Okay, now we've established those. We kind of don't need to do those unless we just want to manually kind of figure those out. There's his stretch position right there. See, that's an extreme right there. So we want to, it may not be exactly equal, but we're just kind of figuring that out. Let's see, this one's going to go up. And heck, just for the fact that it's almost like organic like this, might look a little better. The fact that we're doing it a little off-kiltered. All right, so right there would be the repeat. So I'm going to actually delete that one. I'm actually going to select these, copy, and then that's where I'm going to start pasting it. Paste, and then repeat right there. Paste. Paste. There we go. All right. Now, at what point do I want the mouth to stick to the head? About right there. Probably where he's standing up. I think where he's standing up, that's about the right position where the mouth should be. So I'm going to put the time indicator right there. And I'm going to link using the pick whip. I'm going to parent the mouth. Y'all remember how to do that. Drag the mouth pick whip to the head. As to say, I am linking the two together at that point. So now, if you play that, you get a subtle little bobbing head motion. But the mouth is stuck to the head, which is kind of what you need. So once you have this, we need to get the we need to make the rest of the composition. I think at this point we're ready to put Bufford in a setting. All right, so what we're going to do, so next do a composition, new composition, NTSC D1 widescreen square pixel. All right, and then title it Bufford Walking. And it will be a duration of 6 seconds because that's Bufford walking, okay? If you hadn't made 6 seconds right there. So we'll say okay, and then that's what we have, right? Good. Okay. All right, so you're going to drag in this image, which is the image we have as the setting to which Bufford will walk across. It's very large. How do we scale it down? S. We select the layer, we hit S, and we drag that number down a little bit. And then we kind of shift it and move it around. We obviously need some room to kind of horizontally move it. This is called parallax. When two planes shift in motion, that is parallax. I'm actually going to scale mine up just a hair, maybe to 50%. 50% looks good. You can have them walk along the sidewalk, the street. I don't, care. You can have them walk anywhere, upside down for all I care. All right, so we have this, and how are we going to have this move? We're going to have this move, from one to the other. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select the layer. Let's hit P because we are animating the position. And then we're going to click the stopwatch. So we have it all the way on one side. Click the stopwatch. Move the timeline indicator all the way to the very end of 6 seconds. And then I'm going to actually just click and drag the image. I'm going to hold Shift because that's going to keep it on a level plane so it doesn't kind of move. And then I'm not really going to go all the way. I'll just kind of go that far. I'll check that out, see how that works. That's actually kind of fast, but I can make those subtle changes later on, but I'll just see how that works when I put Bufford in. Okay, now we're ready to drag Bufford, our AE puppet number 2. Make sure you grab number 2. That's the one you did. Just drag him somewhere in the scene. He's super huge, as you can see. This would be a great scene right here, just seeing his belly, like that. Like that's one shot we could do, Select Bufford, hit S to scale him down. Nice. All right, so if you get it to a certain point, you can actually move, you can use the position on Bufford. You can animate him going across a little bit. So, just kind of have him moving like that. Yeah, like he's just kind of speeding up. You don't really have to. I mean, just him kind of like sitting in one place, having the scene kind of move along, kind of fits its situation. Again, that kind of works itself. I like that. There's also the situation of like a shadow. You can kind of do a shadow if you do the ellipse tool. Actually, you need to add a solid first. Do a new solid. Black is good because that kind of reminds me of a shadow color. I don't know why. And then you kind of get the ellipse tool, draw an ellipse. Yeah, if it's a shadow, it kind of makes sense. You drill down on mask, and then you can feather it. Mess with the expansion, kind of go inward a little bit. Drop the opacity down a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to be extreme, just subtle. Okay. And then, the great thing is if it stays there, it could just stay there with them, It's just kind of fitting with them. Let's see, the black solid would go underneath Bufford. If he was moving, you would just parent the shadow to him, which is so easy, If he moves, just nope, just parent. Parent is so easy. Yeah, for simple things like that, use parent.